Malcolm X said it best. You've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, you've been led astray, you've been run amok, and this is what he does. That's what he does. Joe Biden, the Democrats, that's what they do. Y'all got hoodwinked, and y'all licked the boots.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell's soup over white rice, baked chicken with the skin on, yeah, Lowry's with black pepper, I'm fully seasoned with laughter.
What's good, 100%ers? It's your boy Dre, and welcome to my channel, Keep It 100 Dre. So, Joe Biden and his administration are talking reparations. Take a look at this video.
Let me ask you, reparations. The House held a panel this week. Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, talked about Biden's support for reparations, but she stopped short of saying that Joe Biden would sign the bill if it got to his desk. What do you make of that?
It was a really telling moment. What I make of that is that White House press secretary Jen Psaki wanted to be cautious on this topic, but it's a topic that especially African-American voters and Black women who were key, integral to President Biden winning this election, and they are watching this closely and wanting this to happen. This is not saying that people are going to get checks in the mail tomorrow. This is saying that there's going to be a study on reparations. Vice President Biden is on the record saying that he would support something like that. So I think it's really telling that she didn't want to go as far to say that he would support this specific bill. So I think this is a place where we're really going to have to watch closely what happens. This is a bill that's been moving through Congress for a while now. And I think now that Democrats have so much power, you have African-American people, African-American leaderships saying, why can't we focus on this issue? We know that African Americans are not being treated equally in this country. We know that there are economic consequences to the institutional racism that Black people have faced in this country, and that is separate and apart from any other race in this country. Black people being held in bondage, enslaved for years in this country, that hurt generations of African Americans. And this study, people think, will be integral to trying to right some of that wrong. So I think we're going to have to really watch the White House and continue to press them on their stance on that bill.
Yeah, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee has picked up the mantle after Congressman Conyers, and she will be on with my colleague Jonathan Capehart tomorrow on the Sunday show, so be sure to tune into that. Yamiche, before I let you go, I do want to ask you, just on a personal level, how is it covering this administration? We all saw you getting harassed by the President of the United States, the 45th President of the United States. So covering this administration, I'm curious how you show up with your lived experience there and how it's been for you in this first month.
Well, I can tell you that things have been radically normal, Tiffany. We have a schedule. The press briefings are when the press briefings are. That's not to say that we're best friends with the administration, right? The relationship will still be one that's adversarial because you have a press that's pushing for answers. You have an administration that at times does not want to give us the answers to those questions, critical questions, right? Like when are things going to get back to normal? President Biden said that might happen as early as Christmas. The White House press secretary was a little bit more cautious and not wanting to give a specific date. But that being said, President Trump had an agenda, a strategy to make the media part of his opposition, to harass and target reporters. And he thought that was to his political benefit. We just have not seen that with President Biden. We've seen a president who, while he has pushed back on members of the media, has done so in a pretty respectful way. So I think right now we're still having a shared sense of respect. And that I think is a good change. It's a good way to go forward in a democracy that is facing so many challenges in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a racial reckoning, in the middle of a climate crisis. There are so many things going on that it's good that we can at least have normal and respectful exchanges.
So I guess there's two ways to see this. The first way you can see it is it's progress. You can see it as at an administration they're talking about reparations, and that normally does not happen. It's just like flatly ignored, denied, and just won't be discussed at all. So you can see this as progress, a stepping stone forward. But of course, knowing me, you know I don't see it that way. I don't see it as progress at all. The way I see this is he's talking about reparations to get people feeling good, like he's actually going to do something, but not going to do anything at all. So that's what the Democrats like to do. They like to talk a big game and do absolutely nothing because the Republicans promised they would do nothing. At least they're being honest. They're saying, we're not going to do anything for you and you're going to like it. The Democrats say, oh, we're going to do something for you, and don't do it. I'd rather be promised the terrible truth than told a sweet lie. That's just me. That's not saying I prefer the Republican Party. I'd just rather not be lied to. And the thing that's great about this, Joe Biden talking reparations, not planning on actually doing anything, as said in the video pretty much, the people actually see through it as well. If you check the like to dislike ratio on that video, it has 1.9k likes and 5.8k dislikes as of the time that I'm seeing. I'm sure the dislike to like ratio is increasing as more people see it. Because people see through a nonsense, they see through a game, they see through a BS. They know that he's just bringing it up to get them feeling good, but don't actually plan on doing anything about it. And all you have to do is really read the comments. They see through it completely, saying that, oh, we're going to study reparations. What does studying reparations mean? Reparations has already been given to other groups of people, just not to ADOS, American descendants of slaves. So what is there to study? Is that he just don't want to do it. It's doublespeak. And here's the thing. There's people that argue against reparations. They say, oh, it's been so long. It happened such a long time ago. It was your great ancestors. So we're so far removed from it. You don't need reparations. America is now equal. Time to move on. All the BS that they say. Those arguments. But here's the thing. Time does not equal justice. Actual justice equals justice. So just because something happened a long time ago, don't mean justice was served. There's no statute of limitations on murder. And the slave owners, they murdered, they beat, they raped, they did all types of crazy things to slaves, and justice was never served. Justice never got served for African Americans, for Africans that were brought over to America. They never got the reparations. Every other group did, except black people. So don't tell me just because a whole lot of time passed, it's okay. It's never been okay. Time does not equal justice. Just because a lot of time has passed, don't mean justice has actually been served. If someone murders someone, just because a whole lot of time passed, it's been 20 years, does that person still go to jail or not? Of course they do. Because just because it happened a long time ago, don't mean that there has been a solution to the problem. And here's the thing about that also. Slave owners, they murdered, they beat, they raped, and did all types of crazy, unspeakable things to slaves. And justice has not been served just because time has passed. They did that to the slaves, and did that to their ancestors. And then after slavery, there was Jim Crow. Black people built up businesses. There's Black Wall Street, the bombing. Then there's a drug war that both Democrats and Republicans were extremely proud of, that destroyed black communities. There's a crime bill. So all these things happened, and there has never been any sort of reparations for all those things that happened to black people. So the only way you can somewhat ameliorate the wrongs that were done to black people is through reparations. There's been reparations for every other group of people. For Jewish people, the amount for Native Americans is not even close to enough. There's been reparations for Japanese people. Where are the reparations for black people? Don't tell me it's been too long. Every other group has gotten reparations in America that deserved it, except black people. And that's the way it's always been. Every other groups, they get things that they need, that they deserve, except black people. And a large part of the reason is not just because of racism. It's just because black people, they throw their vote at the Democrats without demanding anything. The Republicans aren't an option, but you can say no to the Democrats unless they do what you want. Here's the thing. The Democrats absolutely need black people. More than 90% of black people vote for Democrats. If they lose the black vote, even a quarter, they lose 10%, 5%, the Democrats can never win another election again. We just need enough people to hold their votes unless they say, you do this or you're not getting our vote. I covered it in another video, up to 40% of black people said they're going to withhold their vote in the upcoming election unless something's done about student loans. And then Joe Biden, of course, said, oh, I'm not doing anything about student loans, which is stupid. How's that a politically smart move? It makes no sense. It has to be the same with reparations. A good portion of black voters had to say, hey, unless something is done on reparations, we're not voting for you. And that's how you hold the powerful accountable. You threaten their power. You withhold your vote. Or vote for someone who will do something that you want. But just automatically pledging your vote to them, why would they do anything and say, hey, why would they do anything for you if you say, hey, I want these things done, but even if you don't do it, I'm going to vote for you either way? Of course they're never going to. What is the catalyst for them to actually get anything done, to create change? There's no catalyst. So why would they do it? So I'm absolutely happy that people see through the nonsense you see with the like to dislike ratio, the comment sections. They see it. It's doublespeak. The people know that they're being BS'd. And the Democrats and Joe Biden's use of doublespeak, not so cleverly done doublespeak, is why they said $2,000 stimulus checks in every single ad before and after $600 were passed. But now bootlickers are saying, oh no, he said $1,400 because of doublespeak. And y'all fell for it. Malcolm X said it best. You've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked, you've been led astray, you've been run amok, and this is what he does. That's what he does. Joe Biden, the Democrats, that's what they do. Y'all got hoodwinked, and y'all licked the boots. So that's all I gotta say for today. So if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, because if you don't turn on the notifications, you will not see my videos by YouTube. So please do that. So before the video is over, I want to leave you with one more thing, and that's the word of the day. The word of the day for today is doublespeak. Doublespeak is spelled D-O-U-B-L-E-S-P-E-A-K. The definition of doublespeak is deliberate, euphemistic, ambiguous, or obscure language. So now I will attempt to use doublespeak in a sentence. The Democrats always engage in doublespeak as a way to avoid doing anything for the people. Hopefully I used that sentence correctly. So again, if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell so you see all my videos in the future. And use doublespeak in the comment section below so I know you watch the video to the end. So again, I really appreciate you watching the video. 100% this. Peace.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.